And welcome in to Two Guys Down 200 Pounds. I'm Brian.
And I'm Brandon.
And we're going to tell you what worked and what didn't, and even give you a few sports takes. But first, we're going to thank Caroline Manus and Annette Gratzer for coming on last week, doing a little cheer talk. I'm a new cheer dad, so I learned a lot. I'll be honest with you, Brandon. I didn't even know what a full out was.
That's what I said. I wanted them to let the audience know what a full out is, because not everybody out there even knows what a full out is, much less there's probably not many dads out there know much about competition cheerleading.
Yeah, and I don't know a whole lot, but I think last week filled me in a little more on the inner details that I don't know, and I know a lot of other dads don't know. But I'm first going to touch on, I would be remiss if I didn't. I just got back from Panama City Beach, brought my 10U Warriors Baseball Academy, because Brandon called it Ackworth Warriors last week, but we are actually Warriors Baseball Academy. We went down, had a great week, ended up winning the championship. So I'd be dumb if I didn't shout them boys out, because it wasn't me and Coach CJ. They played their butts off, and we ended up 6-2, winning the championship. Had to double dip the final team twice, which I wasn't 100% sure if we were going to do, Brandon, but we ended up making it work.
You did, and I watched from the house or from Game Changers, and it's hard to think that you're going to double dip a team in a championship game. That's pretty hard, and you'd already lost to them one time in the bracket, so thinking you were going to pull it off twice was a heck of a defeat, and congratulations to you and the Ackworth baseball players and other coaches. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like we always say, why not us, baby? Why not us?
I was just wondering why we didn't see a sprint down the beach.
I'm saving that for later.
It was perfect opportunity to get one rep in. Or I should have contacted CJ and see if he just go half speed for you.
No, we no sprints. You'll get your sprint later in September or October, whenever we're going. I'm not even sure. But anyways, we'll get right to it. The topic, I know we were talking about men's health that people don't talk about, but I think it more leans towards big men's health, right? Because that's what me and you were, and I'm still big. You're a lot smaller than me now, but it's still big men's health that people don't talk about. And we'll just start it right off. Tough it out mentality, and I think that starts from a younger age, not just when you're big, but at a young age from your dad.
Yeah, and I think, growing up, obviously we had the same dad, or at least I hope we did.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, growing up, tough mentality is you never really went to the doctor. I think most guys can agree that we don't go to the doctor unless you're like dying. I don't remember going to the doctor that much other than going for sports physicals and stuff like that, or we maybe had the flu or something. Other than that, I don't never remember, and much less even remember seeing my dad. Even this day, I don't even know that I see my dad going to the doctor.
Yeah, he's, 65, 7 years old? I'd have to add it up. But he doesn't go to a doctor, so then it bleeds down to me and Brandon, and you're talking about just tough it out. As long as everything's all right, then you're probably all right.
Or at least you think you are.
You think you are. You don't really know. You may have high blood pressure. You may have diabetes. You don't know what's going on, but you just ride it out. And that's sports too. Right? You get hurt, you hurt your ankle, you just suck it up and move on.
Tough it up and try to play through it. But, you only go to the doctor unless you absolutely need to, or at least that's how I am. And as a big person, we've talked about this before, is like, it's just scary going to the doctor. Like, you don't want to go there and find out something unknown that you never knew about. It's just scary going, and trying to get blood drawn and all that is just, I hate needles. So even just get my blood drawn, or even I think as a kid, and I can't remember even now, is even just getting your finger pricked for blood is like, dude, I don't want no part of it.
Yeah, and I think it goes just not wanting to go to the doctor, period. It doesn't matter what's wrong, whether it's a hurt ankle, maybe you're getting dizzy, whatever it was. You don't want to go to the doctor because you don't want to find out what's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? You're big, you're fat, whatever you want to call it. You don't want to go because you don't want to find out. So you're just going to ride with it until something freaking makes you go to the doctor.
Well, and also when you first walk in, you got to step on the scale.
Yeah.
And God knows, that right there, and every time, it's probably the same way for girls, is every time you step on the scale, the doctor's going to say something to you. Like, God dang, you really need to lose some weight, Brian or Brandon or, whoever.
Yeah, or not just lose weight, but coming with being big and losing weight, typically, not always, but typically your blood pressure's high.
Yeah.
Or in your case, you may have diabetes, right? You didn't know, but you may have diabetes. So you don't want to find that out. And I've had, a year ago, a little bit of high blood pressure. I lost a little weight. I haven't been on high blood pressure, but I know Brandon has been on high blood pressure medicine and the diabetes thing. But if he didn't go to the doctor, he wouldn't have found that out.
No, and like you're saying, it was the scary part about it is I let it get to the point where I'm at work and I'm literally like getting dizzy and seeing black dots, trying to figure out what the heck was going on. Super weak. I'd start getting shakes while I'm working, and I'm like, dude, I'm fine. Like, I've ate, I've had something to drink, I'm good. And then one day I was like, I got to go to the doctor. I got to figure this out, even though as much as I didn't want to. And so after I went to the doctor and they figured everything out, that's when they realized, okay, well, this dude's got high blood pressure. The dude's got high blood sugar on top of that. So it was like double. Well, I found out the high heart rate was way before the diabetes, but that was all with becoming fat because I've never even had any of that. And, going back and looking at it is, some of y'all don't know, but Brian's always been a big dude. Like growing up as a kid, Brian's been a big dude. And believe it or not, as dumb as this sounds, Brian, for a big dude, has actually been pretty daggum healthy because he ain't never had no type 2 diabetes or blood pressure issues or anything. Like Brian grew up big with no problems, and I was small, and the minute that I got fat, I had every problem.
Yeah, and that kind of ties in about why men, obviously we're talking about men, but we mean I say why men because I feel like women go to the doctor more than men do.
I agree with that too.
I don't think there's any secret. I think you could talk to anybody. I think women go to the doctor more than men do. But one of our topics was why should men get blood work done? And if you don't, and I'll say this, I never wanted to previously, but now that you're on the journey, you kind of want to know where you're at.
Yeah.
You want to know, do you have high cholesterol? Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have diabetes? Do you have these big dude,
tendencies for high blood pressure, type 2 or high cholesterol or whatever. But I mean, like, my thing is once again, Brian hasn't really gone through this like me. And so when I first found out I had it, I hated going because I knew me and the doctor were going to sit down and talk about the same things we talked about every time.
Yeah.
But then when I didn't mind getting my blood drawn is when I got on this weight loss journey, and I wanted to see the progress I made every time. I wanted to see finally me going in remission for type 2 diabetes. Like that was a huge goal of mine that I was going into, and as a type 2 diabetes person, I had to go get my blood drawn every 3 months.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's not just the blood work or seeing what you got going on and getting better, because I think men, but I also think women are very goal driven. I know Brandon's goal driven. I know I'm goal driven. So if you go, and I would encourage you to go to figure out your starting level, and then you get better from there. It's no different than losing weight.
Yeah.
It's no different than starting at 490 pounds like I was and then getting down to 370. And I'm still a big dude, but that goal's coming down, right? I'm meeting that goal. I'm coming down, and you go and you get your blood work done, and you see you're at, and I have my exact numbers, but you start here, your BMI, your whatever you want to talk about comes down and down and down and down. And that helps fuel the fire. For weight loss and getting healthier as an individual, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. Everything, I kept wanting to go back. It was also, you trying to impress somebody, right? Like, I'm going to the doctor to impress the doctor that I've lost more weight. I'm doing better. Mm-hmm. When before I kept going back and was doing the opposite, having the same talks. And I'm sure, like, the doctor, is probably like, dude, this dude ain't never going to change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I walk in and I'm 490 pounds or 80, whatever it was, but then I come in 7 months later and you're 370, yeah, that's still big, but God almighty, I've lost 120 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, the doctor sees that, right? You're coming down weight, and she may still think, or he, man, this dude's huge.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm still hitting the goal. So weight loss, and how does it affect your confidence?
Well, my confidence has actually skyrocketed up since I lost all the weight. I mean, clearly I feel better. And honestly, I mean, you hate on me for taking my gym selfies, but bro, when I get in that gym and I can start seeing muscles come out, and, I mean, you look better, you feel better, you're different. You come home, you're not this fat piece of crap that I feel like. No offense to anybody, but I everything's up. My energy's up. I can do more. I don't just come home and sit on the couch. I go play with the kids more. I go do things with my wife. My wife asked me to do honey to-do lists. Not saying I finish them, but I start them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I agree 100%. I even walk around now, and I'm in a 1 to 2 shirt sizes smaller.
Yeah.
I feel like, from what I've come from, and other people may look at me differently, but I feel like I walk around this shirt and I'm like, God almighty,
I'm
man,
a small dude.
I am ready to go, son. And I'm still big, but in my mind, I'm like, man, I'm all right now.
I mean, we talk about it too, and going back to men's health on this too is like, even though I do feel good, there is times where I still look in the mirror and I'm like, I still feel like I still weighed the same when I started. Like, I still look in the mirror and I'm like, dude, I'm still fat. But then when I see pictures of myself or people compliment me or whatever, it's like, dude, you lost a lot of weight, you're looking good. But it's still like, I don't see it sometimes. Like, I still look in the mirror and I'm like, I'm still pointing out my stomach's still fat, or for some of y'all, I've lost enough weight now that is starting to have loose skin. So now, like, I have issues with the loose skin when I look, and I'm like, man, if I could just get this cut off, like,
yeah,
I mean, it'll look even better.
Yeah, and I haven't got to the. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have loose skin, but I think also with the loose skin, being big and then losing weight, loose skin comes into chafing, because you run, you walk, you sweat, and I'll tell you right now. I mean, I told CJ at the baseball game Saturday morning, we had to play from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. on a turf field that's 120 degrees. I got sweat running everywhere, and my legs are chafed to no end. But I think that's I got all this skin rubbing everywhere.
Yeah.
And people don't want to talk about that, but that's a big deal. You know,
I mean,
especially with you running, you probably wear shirts that prevent that and all that.
Yeah, I mean, big me, I had a lot of issues with chafing. I mean, it didn't matter, you know, even at work, doing a lot of work, like skin rubbing on skin, it was miserable. I mean, I kept Gold Bond in my work truck for that reason. Now, the skinnier I got, I mean, I'm not saying my skin don't still rub, but the skinnier I've got, the less issue I have with chafing anymore. But trust me, as a big person, it was pretty bad.
Yeah, and it's not, look, anybody who's been a lineman or anything, playing football in high school, college, like, you know about chafing, you know about Gold Bond,
Yeah.
you know about baby powder. There's nothing worse than having a 2-hour practice or being out on the baseball field for 6 hours and not even being able to walk. I mean, you got to walk like you just rode a horse for 9 hours.
Yeah.
Your legs are wide apart.
You're letting everything swing and you just walking.
You just getting it. You just getting it. But another thing that I think me and Brandon are both big on, I'm going to tie these both in together, but CPAP machine and sleeping, because I think they're both equally as important, and I think they, obviously, CPAP helps you sleep, but for the longest time, I didn't have a CPAP. And there would be times when I was working prior to building cabinets. I was doing a little, you know, got out of college, got a job, driving around everywhere. And Brandon, I'd go, I didn't think nothing was wrong, but I'd pull up to a store, I'd have to check on, I'd sit in the car, and next thing I know, I'd wake up and it was 2 hours later.
He gone.
Yeah. I mean, I'd fall asleep right in the car because I was so tired. And it wasn't tired when I was sleeping, but if I could just sit there for 2 minutes, I'd be gone.
Yeah. And so, like, you're speaking of you know, 2 hours, whatever. So, me as a big guy, before I ever got the CPAP machine, which I do have one now, my wife would tell me all the time, it was like, Brandon, you need to go see a doctor because you just wake up in the middle of the night and you're gasping for air. Like, I think you're going to die in your sleep because you're not getting no air. And I'm like, dude, you're crazy. There ain't no way. Like, what are you talking about? Well, then I guess I was getting bigger, and I would literally wake up in the middle of the night, and I would catch myself gasping for air.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it literally, I mean, like I couldn't breathe. And so I was like, all right, Annette, maybe you're right. Maybe it is time for me to go. But not only that is you're talking about, you know, you'd be at work, you'd fall asleep in the car, and the next thing you wake up, and it's 2 hours later. Well, my thing is I'd feel so tired during the day, like I wasn't sleeping. I would literally come home from work and I could take a nap, so-called nap. But I could literally take a nap, sleep for 3 or 4 hours, wake up, eat dinner, hang out with my wife, and go back to sleep no problem because I was so dead tired.
Yeah, and I mean, Lauren always told me that I snored, but I never felt it during the night. But if I ever tried to take a nap during the day, that's when I would, like, wake up like, oh, my God, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't take a nap because I just couldn't breathe. So for any of you guys out there, or women, doesn't matter to me, if you need a CPAP, if you're snoring, I'm telling you, a CPAP will change your life.
I mean, it might not be the most sexiest thing in bed to wake up to your significant other with a CPAP machine, but I'm telling you, I never went without. Once I learned and could sleep with my CPAP machine, it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Now that I lost all this weight, I haven't been using my CPAP machine because I just feel like I'm getting too much air. And now I'm going to matter of fact, I got an appointment on Wednesday to go back to I'm trying to get retested. But honestly, I don't know if I have sleep apnea anymore or not. But it's been such a comfort thing of having the CPAP that I still want to use it, believe it or not.
Yeah, I don't even leave house. I don't even leave my house without the CPAP. Matter of fact, what was it, year ago, 2 years ago, we go down to the beach, and Brandon forgot his CPAP, and then Lauren's parents went to the house, got it, and then overnighted it to the beach house just so Brandon could have it.
That's how bad I needed it. Was like, Lauren's like, my parents at home, and I was like, look, I will give them the code to my house so they can go in there, grab it, and overnight it to me ASAP. And we weren't even down at the beach for 2 days, and I didn't even want to be without it for 2 days.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a matter of fact. Somebody who probably needs a CPAP machine, who hopefully is going to listen to this, is our dad, because that joker, listening to him sleep. I mean, he ain't even a big dude, but I guarantee you, Brandon, I guarantee you with every dollar I got that he's got sleep apnea.
Oh, he for sure does. I mean, I sleeping in the same hotel room with him when we went hunting down in South Georgia. Dude, if you don't fall asleep before he does, you're toast for the night.
You're done. You ain't going to sleep. But did you? I mean, I say midlife, but I don't know if midlife is the right, because you ain't even 40 yet. I'm just 40. But did you have any midlife health scares or things that really got you worked up and got you going?
I mean, I don't know if it was a scare, but I mean, I've always told people all the time, was when I found out I had type 2 diabetes, almost every single person I talked to was like, ooh, that's not good. Like, a lot of deaths happen with type 2 diabetes. And I still never took it as serious and never thought anything about it. But now looking back on it, and I mean, it did scare me, because, I mean, everybody was like, ooh, like, yeah, like somebody I knew died from it. And you're like, you just, it wasn't any good.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily know that I had midlife health scares. It was just more of like me and Brandon talked about 5 episodes ago. Like, you just don't see fat old people.
No.
So that was my thing. I wanted to be alive for my kids' weddings, for the grandkids, hopefully one day. I just wanted to be alive for the long term, and that's what, got me going. I just don't want to not be here for big, important, right? I mean, my mom and dad, they come to Tate's baseball games and Abigail's softball games and McKinley's cheer stuff, and I want to be able to go to their kids' baseball games and football games and cheerleading and softball or whatever it may be, soccer, lacrosse, you name it. I just want to be able to go to those.
And be healthy enough to even walk there, not be on a scooter or an electric scooter or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, and that's always – I mean, that was kind of like my go-to that got me started on this too, was you just don't see fat old people.
Yeah, and it seems dumb, but if you really – Brendan, if you really think about it, and if everybody listening, whether it's one person, 2 person, 100 people, if you really think about it, think about all the old people you know. There's not a lot of 300-pounders.
There's not, unless you see them in a living place.
Yeah.
Senior living place.
Yeah.
And they're probably confined to a bed.
Yeah, absolutely. What's one health issue you wish somebody would have talked to you about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it may be?
I mean, besides type 2 diabetes, probably being fat, Brian.
Yeah.
Somebody would have talked to me about being fat and everything that came with being fat, and just talk to me more about, health stuff and being healthy and the reason why. And, I mean, just being healthy. If somebody would have just told me, like, hey, being fat and all these problems come with it, then I'd have not, probably wouldn't have let myself get this way, maybe.
I mean, that's easy to say, but I do think the more people stay on you about it, my wife's been on me about it forever, but, growing up, me, Brandon, hanging out and with friends, and nobody ever really says anything to you about it. They don't say nothing about you being big. They just accept you for who you are. But in reality, 10 years ago, if they would have been talking about it, maybe just pressing a little bit on it, maybe you take it a little more seriously. Maybe you don't get, in my case, maybe you don't get up to 500. Maybe you only get up to 4 or whatever it may be. But I agree. I think that, 10 years ago, and it's, hindsight's 20/20. It's easy to sit here
Yeah.
in our chairs and say what we would have done, but that's not what happened.
I still, I'll still stand on it to this day. We say it all the time in our episodes. Is I still believe that until you want to make a change is when you'll make the change.
Yeah, and
I don't think anybody talking to us, telling us this or that, or telling us, hey, if you get fat, you're going to die. I'm not sure that that would have changed anything for me.
No, and it probably wouldn't have, because I'm in the same boat as you. There ain't nobody's going to tell you what you need to do until you want to do it, until something happens or you feel some kind of way. It's probably not going to happen. But I think that a little bit of push may not have hurt from from other people, but you get comfortable with somebody.
It's like you said. Other than maybe somebody like your wife. You as a friend, are you really like even you talking to one of your friends? Are you going to stay on them and say, "Hey, dude, you're fat. Like, you got to do something." You going to stay on with it all the time? That's what I'm saying.
No, I think the problem is because you don't want to get on somebody's nerves.
Yeah.
Right. We're good buddies. I don't want to just hound you and hound you and hound you. Because I thought of it the same way. Like, I'm not going to do it till I'm ready. So somebody saying it probably isn't going to push me. It may a little bit, but I don't want to be the annoying.
I'd probably been more open if somebody was like, "Hey, let me go to the gym with you."
Yeah, I'll work out with you.
Yeah, like if a friend came at me and was like, "Hey, man, you're getting kind of big. Hey, let's start going to the gym together," and encourage me to go to the gym, I could take something like that. But like a friend coming up to me being like, "Dude, you're fat, man. Like you got to do something, man." And hearing that every time we see each other, honestly, I probably wouldn't hang out with you anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll say this: the one problem with being big, I would say, you're talking back problems, mobility loss, not being able to tie your shoe very well. We've talked about that in previous episodes. Flexibility, Lord knows you're 500 pounds. You can't bend over and touch your toes anymore. But back problems, I've had them. You've had them. And
I can stand on 10 toes here, and Brian used to have back problems all the time. And I never believed Brian. I used to tell Brian all the time, like, "Dude, you and your back problems," it's like, dude, the way he made it sounds like, "Dude, come on, man. You can get up in the morning and go, man." And it was one day, me weighing 389, I had jumped off like a 4-foot ledge off a truck and hit my back. And, dude, my back was so jacked up. I couldn't sit down. I needed medicine. Brian actually got me to go to the chiropractor, which I do not believe in a chiropractor whatsoever. But I will say the 2 times that I went, that chiropractor straightened my back out, and I didn't have no more issues.
Yeah, and my back issues have gone on for a long time, but I think it has to do with having excess weight. I think that plays a big role in it because I've lost a lot of weight, and I don't typically have back problems. Every once in a while, if I do something wild or crazy, I may feel it coming on, but then I can settle down and let it pass. But used to, for a while, my back was jacked up. I couldn't do nothing.
Dude couldn't even get off the floor.
Yeah, I'd have to come home, sit in the car, sit on the couch with my feet up. Like, back problems was a big deal. And, it even got to the point where surgery. But I didn't want back surgery. I had nothing to do other than back surgery or lose weight. And then, you start to lose weight. Next thing you know, you're not carrying all that weight, and the back problems start to go away.
And that was the thing, was like, we would, it'd be to the point where I'd have such a back problem. Like, it would, and I'm not exaggerating this, and I know Brian can agree with me. It would take every bit of energy and everything you could to get yourself off the ground.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Yeah.
In the mornings.
Yeah. Back problems for people ain't, and I've told Lauren this, I've told Brennan this. I wouldn't wish back problems or especially lower back, not upper back, but lower back problems on my worst enemy. They are absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
But hey, lose the weight, you'll probably lose some back problems.
All right. We're going to jump into our overrated, underrated segment. This segment is brought to you by Power Washing by Chris. Give him a call for any of your house, driveways, sidewalks, fences, porches, gutters. You name it, that dude can pressure wash it. That's a fact. You can find him on our social medias, or you can give him a call at 678-605-6565. Again, that's Power Washing by Chris. And with our first question, Brian, betting on sports.
Well, that it's an easy one for me. Underrated. Underrated. I bet a lot on sports. There's probably a lot of people listening who do. If it's not, now don't get me wrong, I don't like to bet on Georgia sports just because I'm a fan. I don't need rooting interest. But if Georgia plays at 12 o'clock and Texas and LSU plays at 7:30, I like to put a little money on it to have a little more juice there, have a little more rooting interest. So I'm going to say underrated.
Yeah, for me, it's underrated. I put out a little video this week on overrated and underrated on sports betting as well. Underrated. I mean, if you can do it healthy like me, I mean, I essentially put $100 in my betting account, and when I run out, I literally run out. Like, I put nothing else in. Me and Brian both, we essentially bet together with some friends. Usually we're in a group text message that we go and we try to pick out the best games and do it. But once I run out of money, I'm done. But I think it makes it that much more exciting. So for me, it's underrated. Cologne for men.
So I would typically, it's been a while. It's been 8 years since I've worked in a office or a public setting. It's always been me and my dad doing woodwork together. I don't feel the need to.
Your stinky butt down there sweating.
I don't feel the need to wear cologne. I'm around sawdust and blah blah blah. But now that I'm in the office, I mean, I feel like everybody's got something on. So I'm going to say underrated. And I've talked to my wife. I'm like, I got to get a cologne. I got to get something. Yeah, I got to. I'm just working with deodorant here. Everybody's got a cologne on. And women got perfume on. Men got cologne on. I need to step up my game.
I mean,
so
I guess I work in a man's field because I work outside. I'm going to go with overrated because I work outside. So there ain't, I mean, my deodorant half time wears off while I'm out there. So, I mean, me wearing a cologne, I do use like this men for spray after I get done running a 5K because we typically go eat after we do our 5Ks or 10Ks, whatever. But I still think it's overrated, man. Be a man. What are you trying to be a woman, be out there smelling like a woman? I'm okay with a woman smelling good, but a dude going, come on, man.
Ain't nothing wrong with a man smelling good. Okay. I mean, shoot, I walk by some men, I'm like, dang, that joker smells good.
Okay. Okay, BG, I see you. Going to the doctor.
I mean, I would used to say it was overrated, but now I think I would say you're probably dumb for not going to the doctor, Brandon. So I would say underrated by 1,000%. You got to go to the doctor, figure out what's going on.
Yeah, me too. I mean, we agree. Underrated. Got to go to the doctor, man. Sometimes, I mean, just for your yearly, at least just go for your yearly checkups, man.
I know it ain't easy.
No.
It's not easy when you're starting out. But if you just go and figure out where you're at, and then you can build from there, it's so much better going to the doctor. When you're losing weight, your blood work's getting better, your cholesterol's getting better,
hopefully it's motivating you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, this one might hurt some people, might even hurt me right here. Men gotta drive a truck.
Oh boy, this could be a touchy one, but Brent, I'm gonna say underrated. I think that's the right one because if you're a dude, just get a freaking truck, man. Just get a truck. Quit driving around in a car. A man's supposed to have a truck. What you gonna do if you need to go get a pallet of sod or some mulch or something? Man up, grow you a pair, and grab a truck.
I'm gonna tuck mine between my legs right now because everybody that knows me, I drive a car every day to work. So Brian over here trying to slap me down. I think it depends on what you do as work. For me, I drive 16 miles back and forth to, round trip to work. So I just bought me a little car to get me back and forth to work. Dude, could I use a truck? Yes. If I need a truck, I call my brother. But overrated. Dude, there's dudes out there that don't need trucks, man. All of us need trucks.
Everybody needs a truck. Well, every guy needs a truck. Man up, baby.
Hater. All right. We talked about it a little bit last week with the girls. I kind of want a men's perspective here, but, dude, the USA World Cup hype, man.
Yeah, I just haven't got into it. I've kept up with it, but I haven't watched. I haven't went to any watch parties. I know Centennial down there is doing this whole thing, and we got games in Atlanta, but I just haven't got into the hype. So I got to say overrated. I just haven't bought into the soccer hype.
Dude, once again, I'll say it 100 times. That's terrible, dude. USA World Cup hype, dude. The USA team right now is on a freaking tear with 2 games. We just made it to the field of 32, team 1 out of the gates. Dude, if you're not about those hypes, have you not seen the repost on Instagram that I'm doing on the freaking Instagram page for us, dude? Those hype parties are insane, bro. Get me there. Get me to Fido's. Get me downtown. Get me somewhere where we're going to be rocking out to some USA men's soccer, dude. And I'm not even a huge soccer fan. I tell people, I just told my friend Seth the other day, I was like, even if you were to ask me a few people's names on the team, I couldn't say many. I could really only tell you one, and that's Freeman. But he's probably the best player on the team, probably talking about him being the most underrated guy. But, dude, when the World Cup comes, I want to be down there. I want to be in it. I want to be in the games, dude. Atlanta United was one of the best games I've gone to when they won the championship. Dude, underrated. Let's go. I know a lot, Brian and them just coming back from the World Series down there, and a lot of y'all do or don't know that I am a director for doing tournaments. And one of the big things that you always hear, walk-up songs. So overrated, underrated of a good walk-up song.
I would say underrated. I'm going to say both because there's 2 sides of this story. So, like me personally, there's a kid on our team. Well, there's 2 kids, and one of them's going to sound like a little daddy ballish, but my son Tate, I think he has a freaking legit walk-up song that I love to hear when it comes on. But there's another kid, actually my assistant coach, CJ, his son Bear has a freaking banger as a walk-up song that I love. So I would say underrated. The problem I have is when the walk-up songs, whoever's playing them, like Lauren, plays them too long. That's when I don't like it. When the pitcher's trying to make a pitch and you're still playing the walk-up song, that's a problem. If you can play it quickly, I'm down. I love it. Underrated. If you can't figure out your music, overrated. Just shut it off.
Yeah, for me, I'm not coaching baseball right now. When I go to the Braves game, I honestly don't even listen to it. Me, it's overrated. Dude, let's just get up there, let's hit the ball, and let's play ball. Do we in Little League, do we really need a walk-up song for Little Johnny every time Little Johnny comes up the bat? How hype is he getting? He's either going to go out there and hit the ball or he's not.
I think they hype me up more than they may hype them up. I'm not sure. I like them.
Overrated. Next one is sports talk radio.
I mean, all I do is listen to sports talk. So there ain't, whether it's sports talk in the morning, in the afternoon, podcast about sports, I'm going to say overrated because I can't get enough sports. So if you're not listening to sports talk in the morning, you ain't doing life right.
Yeah, and I'm the same. I think it's underrated. That's all I listen to pretty much is sports talk radio. Podcasts, I listen to a few sports podcasts. I got the same dudes I listen to on the radio every morning. It's underrated. And, it just ain't nothing better. That's what kind of influenced me on wanting to do this podcast with Brian was because of sports talk radio. Only focusing on one sport.
Yeah, so I know.
A kid.
Yeah, and I'm going to go from it as a kid. I'm going to use it as a 10-year-old kid or even a little older, 12-year-old. I'm going to say pre-high school. I think, and you can listen to many of people talk about it, but if you're just playing one sport at 10 years old, I think you're missing out. So I'm going to say playing one sport is overrated. Tate, I'm going to use Tate as an example because Abigail just plays softball, so she's a bad example. But Tate plays baseball. He does football in the fall. He does wrestling in the wintertime, and I think it's nothing but great from him. He's not going to miss if you just do football in the fall and you do a little bit of baseball. I don't think at 10 years old you're missing out on much. They ain't even hit puberty yet, so we don't know what's going to happen as years go on. Let them play as many sports as they can and figure it out from there.
Yeah, and I agree with that too. I think it's overrated. I even just have a 5-year-old daughter. She does more than one thing. She does competitive cheerleading, and then she does sideline cheerleading, and she does gymnastics, and she does dancing, and it's like, it's a lot of things for a 5-year-old. But, I feel like a lot of it, all goes together essentially, especially like I think, she really loves competitive cheerleading. So gymnastics goes with it. Dancing goes with it. So, I feel like a bunch of different things. And I don't care what she plays. She can go play soccer, softball, whatever. I just want her involved. But I think focusing on one sport's not even a good idea. I don't even think even getting into high school is that great of an idea. If it's junior, senior year and you're looking to sign a scholarship, fine. But freshman, sophomore year, I still think you need to be dabbling at least two.
And even in high school, if you're really good at both, I see no problem. Yeah. But if you're clearly if you're the dude at football or you're the dude at baseball and you're 15 years old, it may be time to just focus in on one. But I think pre-high school, I just think you play as much as you can, whether it's baseball, soccer, golf, whatever it is. Play as many basketball, wrestling, play as many sports as you can. All those sports kind of tie in. Yeah. They're a little bit different.
They're all hand coordination and everything. I think our last question is having your kid mow your lawn.
And there's probably some parents out there that don't, but man, I taught Tate. Tate was 9 years old. He was cutting the grass. Now his mama loves to cut the grass too, but
but she cuts the grass the most.
It'll be 9 a.m. and Tate's out there trying to crank up the edger. He always wants to do something. Matter of fact, he's doing something a little different this summer, but last summer he was cutting grass all week during, when he wasn't playing baseball, making money, $20 a lawn, $30 a lawn, $40 a lawn. Now he can buy stuff that he wants all the time. I think, why not teach him a little early?
Now he's washing cars.
Yeah, so I'm going to say underrated. Teach them kids how to cut grass.
Yeah, I don't have a kid old enough to cutting grass yet. I wish I did, but now even if he was old enough, I don't know that I'd teach Brody. I will eventually teach him, but I'm very particular in my grass, so it'd probably take me a minute to get him to do my lawn.
Yeah, so we're going to jump into just a little bit of a sports talk. We did we tied it in with our overrated, underrated about sports betting. So we're going to talk a little bit about Brandon Sorsby.
Yeah, we're a little late on this topic, but I feel like it was something we needed to kind of just touch on, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, me personally, I'm not even sure that he will make it to the NFL. I think he's betted on college football. I won't be surprised if NFL doesn't ban him from NFL. And I'm not saying they're not going to come out and say it publicly, right? They're going to tell these NFL teams, you can't take him.
Yeah.
You can't take him. Because at the end of the day, I think he should have been kicked out of Texas Tech, right?
Yeah.
He should have been gone from there. Once you bet on games and bet on your team, how am I going to watch you play and not say you throw an interception?
Yeah. You did that on purpose.
You did that on purpose. How do I know you're not betting?
And I wouldn't bet on his games, honestly, if he was still at Texas Tech. And I know that, technically they say he left on his own terms at this point in time. But I honestly think they, all the backlash that they took, they're like, dude, you got to get up out of here. And probably, who knows what his contract was looking like. What was he getting paid, $5 million or something, $4 million? Mm-hmm. I'm sure they were trying to figure out a way how to recoup it, but I think because the judge, said he could play.
Yeah.
Well, and the judge said he could play. So how can you recoup money back when technically he could have played?
Yeah. Well, my whole thing, the judge granted the injunction, said that he was good. First of all, the judge was from Lubbock, Texas. Yeah. So he was from there. So obviously, let's do the case in Georgia or New York.
It's not even that. Let's have one federal judge. Do all the cases, but we can't have one tied to that state to make a freaking decision. I mean, I'm not 100% sure and can't say this if it's true or not, but he could have went to Texas Tech, and he might have. I don't even know. But, I mean, if he went to Texas Tech, why wouldn't he want that QB there?
Yeah, I mean, he is, and especially – I'm not saying this happened, but you have big donors who paid him big money to be there. Who says they're not paying off the judge? And I'm not. This may be a little hot take here, but I know there's people out there with mental illnesses. But I'm going to tell you right now, you can't bet on a team, what they say, 40 plus times, and admit to doing it, and then just blame it on mental health.
Yeah.
You can't always blame everything on mental health. Sometimes you just screw up, Brandon.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make a mistake and you got to own the mistake. Unfortunately, he knew he made a mistake and it was going to cost him a crap ton of money, possibly.
Yeah.
So they went right to the mental health. He needed to feel like he was a part of the team, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you have to be accountable for your actions.
But, I mean, we had friends that played in college, and they said they stuck through classes that was, they brought in people and talked to them about betting, what they can and can't do. Yeah. So it's not the fact that he didn't know better. For me, I blame it on mental health is a reach for me. I think, you start winning. I think you get addicted to money, and you keep on. But, I mean, once again, I think the dude's got to be out of the league. I don't know how you can get the guy in the NFL. It's still hard for me to believe that somebody would throw money at him and was like, hey, here's $1 million for you to throw this game. I mean, you think he's going to accept it or not accept it? I mean, who knows?
You never know. But it's just being accountable to everything. It's no different than, kids. Our kids, they do something wrong, there's always a consequence to your action.
Yeah.
Right? There always is. And now these college kids are getting paid and they're doing all this stuff and there's no consequences to their actions. Where did we lose that whole thing? Just due to money? Because he's making $5 million now, whatever he does is okay.
It's okay. What about Pete Rose, who bet and he got banned for life?
Yeah, I mean, which ties right into our next.
What about his mental health?
Yeah, ties right into our next little topic here of James Pierce Jr. Right, like we talked about it on previous episodes. Right, he's back at practice.
Yeah.
But me and Brandon talked about it. What he did is not okay. But because
He's a good football player.
He's a good football player, and he's making a lot of money. We're going to bypass all that.
Yeah, and like I said, if it was a second stringer, that dude would have got the boot off
He'd
the
have been
team.
kicked off a long time. As soon as the news broke, they'd have kicked his butt right off the team, and it would have been no thought
issue.
about it.
Yeah.
No thought about it. But now that he's got, 10, 11 sacks last year, now they're worried. But you let him know that it's okay by doing it. What's to say he doesn't do it in another 7 months?
No, I agree.
You're not holding anybody accountable at all. That's in my opinion, that's the problem with everything. You're not holding people accountable for their actions. Yeah. Blame it on whatever you want.
Mental health.
But Braves, not a lot of Georgia football talk, or we can talk about the Georgia lost to Oklahoma in the World Series. They made a heck of a run. It was great.
And they were going speaking about your World Series, but they were going to have to double dip Oklahoma to even make it to the championship game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch, but they ended up losing. But Braves are kind of cooling down a little bit, man. They were hot as a firecracker, and now they're just kind of coming back down to earth. And I know they've had some people get hurt. Strider's now gone for who knows how long, and I made a video about it the other day, but Acuna, my God, just cannot stay healthy. For me, I have no idea how the Braves can pay him, because he's going to want $500 million.
Yeah. I don't know how in the world you can pay him. I mean, you going to throw the dude in DH? I mean, it was like I was listening to speaking of sports talk radio the other day, they were like, the dude's 28, 29, maybe 30, but in a 40-year-old body. The dude's constantly getting hurt all the time. Like, he may be young, but either he's not training right, doing something right, or he's just got an old body. Yeah. And he can't stay healthy. He doesn't know. He's not doing the right things.
And I don't even know what it is. Is it just like, do you limit his running, like stealing bases? Do you limit that, or do you just like you said, do you just let him DH and not play the outfield so he doesn't have to run around? Like, what's the answer?
And it's hard not to let him play the outfield, because dude's got such a heck of a freaking arm to throw people out that it's insane that you got to limit this dude in right field.
Yeah, and that's why when I say Acuna's overrated, it's not because he's not a good baseball player.
Because when he's on the field, the dude plays.
When he's healthy,
awesome.
He's got a cannon. He can smash. He can steal bases. The problem is just being healthy.
Just being on the field, staying on the field.
If you can't be on the field, I can't pay you $500 million over the next 10 years.
How can you? I mean, I can't.
But in the last little quick, we'll touch on this real quick. Riley's been awful. He ain't been good. I think I don't even know. I haven't even seen him, but I think it's time to shave that hair. Like, let's do something different.
I think the last time I looked, don't quote me on this, not 100% sure. I'd have to look it up. But, I mean, we're talking dudes probably batting in the low 200s. I think 209 or something. Yeah. I mean, it almost comes to the point to where it's like, and I don't think the Braves can. I think he has to make the choice himself. But it's almost time to just say, hey, dude, I got to go on an assignment and fix something. Something's got to get fixed. Mm-hmm. And the Braves, they're just going to keep putting them in the freaking lineup because they're like, we hope this guy can figure it out, because they're paying the dude.
Yeah. Yeah, but at some point, when does he figure it out? And how long do you go on with that? Like, if he doesn't figure it out in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, are you just going to ride him out?
I mean, we're almost to the All-Star break.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you keep riding him out, or do they? And I'm with you. I don't think they will. I think they're going to ride him out. But at some point, it's like, man, you gotta squash that bug and be not done with it. But let him go down. Let him work it out, and then try to bring.
The thing is, it's got to be his choice. The Braves can't make him. It's got to be his choice to go down.
Yeah, but
so he's got to man up somewhere and be like, dude, I got to go figure something out.
But yeah, so next week we're excited to announce we got Angel Grumbine on to talk weight loss, and she's a big burn goer. She's a mom. I know her husband is one of the trainers at Burn, so they know, she knows, he also knows, but they know all about that. But content creator, balancing everything out.
She's a mom of freaking 4 kids.
Yeah, she does it all. She's lost close to 100 pounds, and she's just going and going and going.
I mean, one of those things, even back looking on it, I think she's been posting videos here lately of talking about starting over on Mondays. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk to her about that, because that was one of our big things too, was kept starting over on Mondays. Another Monday. And, I think we were all, essentially we were all kept starting over on Mondays. And that's another great thing we can get in and talk to her about.
I mean, and I've heard her, I've seen it, she says it, but just consistency. I mean, you've talked about it before, and you made a heck of a video about just being consistent over the weekend. And we'll get all into that next week.
Yeah, if you like our podcast, we just ask you if you could just follow it on whatever platform, or if you think we're funny or you just like our stuff, share it with people. Sharing it will go a whole lot farther than anything. Just telling your friends, letting them know, hey, 2 guys down 200 pounds, give them a listen. I mean, that right there goes a long way. Rate us 5 stars, hopefully. Give us a rating if you can, but definitely give us a follow. I mean, I think we just hit 47 on Spotify. Dude, we would love to freaking be, we're going on episode 10. If we can get to episode 20 and we're hitting 100 followers just on Spotify, would be freaking awesome. But if you could just rate us on and follow us whatever platform. Also, you can see us on all of our platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, and YouTube. You can now catch us on YouTube and watch us live as we do the show. So that's kind of cool. And we've been changing things, trying to adapt to new things, switching out our mics, everything.
Yeah,
so
YouTube's kind of a new one. We haven't got great at looking at the camera. We look at each other, and it's been a little bit, we got to focus more on the camera, which I'm kind of doing now, but we got to do better at that. But until next time,
see ya!